In a world full of movie podcasts, here is one more. Welcome to Defend Your Movie with Sean Donnelly
and Andrew Fiore.
The time has come again. The champion must stand. It can only be one of us. Victoria! So stand up and fight, my friend. There's a title you must defend. Shut it on and on. Bring it to me. Defend your movie.
Hello there, everybody, and welcome to another edition of your favorite podcast, Defend Your Movie. My name is Sean Donnelly. I am joined here by my co-host. You know who this guy is. You don't need me to introduce him. Andrew Fiore.
Nobody
ladies
knows
and
who I
gentlemen.
am.
Yes, they do.
Introduce me.
All the Defenders know exactly who
I
you
love
are.
the Defenders.
And once again, we have a guest to hang out with us this week. Very good buddy of mine. You know him so much from TV comedy and live comedy. Adam Newman, ladies and gentlemen.
Thanks,
that's
guys.
him clapping
Thanks for
for
having
himself.
me. Yeah, no one else is going to do it.
That's true. We should have clapped for everybody. We
I
didn't.
know.
Andrew, how are you, my friend?
I'm good, buddy. It was an eventful week. We had the Oscars, as you guys heard from last week. We did our picks, and then we saw the broadcast on Sunday.
Yes, we did the picks last week, and we all watched
Ryan
them.
Beck.
What? And with Ryan Beck. Let me ask you this before we get into the actual movie stuff of it.
Shoot.
Did you guys, well, you didn't say, they didn't put Kobe Bryant on the in memoriam?
They did.
They did do
It was
it?
the very first thing they put.
It was?
It was like his solo kind of thing, and then they went into it.
Let me ask you this. Why?
I agreed.
He won. Why did they have him on there?
On the
He might have
Oscars.
been in something.
He's won an Oscar.
Oh, there you go.
Oh, did he? What
Yeah.
did he win an Oscar for?
He made that short animated thing about like a child dreaming about basketball or
Oh,
whatever.
there you go.
No, he's literally.
I said that-
he started
I
a
take
There you
back
go.
everything I
It's all
said.
the qualifications.
I thought he had
That's
no...
what this podcast is. I come on and you just start shitting on Kobe Bryant.
No, it's not shitting on Kobe. It's shitting on...
Yeah, why they would do?
The
Because they didn't
Academy-
Why they
put
do
like
that?
they didn't put Luke Perry in it.
Right.
Which was
that
the
was
bigger
the
deal.
big one.
Well,
That
they should have. He was in Once Upon a Time.
Exactly.
Right.
My friends came back. They were like, "Oh, he was a TV guy." I go, "Not at all. He was just in a
No.
movie."
He was, yeah. And one of the movies that's nominated for Best Picture.
Yeah.
And I just
Big,
saw like
big
on
mistake.
Twitter today, they like arguing. They were like literally they were like defending it. They're like, and the defense was just, we put it through the panel and he didn't make the cut. Like that's all. Like it wasn't a real.
But
there
some
was no-
costume
that's-
designer from 1948 does.
Yeah,
It's like,
that's
get
messed
out
up.
of here.
That's fucked up.
Defend your in memoriam.
So I stand corrected on Kobe Bryant. I take that back. I have no issue with Kobe Bryant. It's not him.
All right, Ari.
No, you're not a bad guy. Everybody, you're just like he's not. Clearly, he's known as a basketball player, not as.
I
Right.
was trying to think of things that he did in anything in the entertainment world, and I was like, nothing that I can think of.
commercials.
Yeah, but
That's not.
I know.
That's not even. That's
that
not
was a
even
sad one too. The in memoriam, you always go, "Oh yeah, him too," and then
Yeah.
makes you sad again.
And you also, when people die, you think it's way longer ago than you think than it is.
Yeah, yeah.
'Cause I was like, Rutger Hauer. I was like, Rutger Hauer
I
died
know.
this year.
Yeah.
Most of the time, you're like, that wasn't this year.
right,
But yeah.
right.
He lived in my sister's apartment complex, the one in her apartment. He was blind fury.
Now
in
I
her
have a
apartment.
roommate. It's Rutger Hauer.
My other favorite thing in the in memoriam is being like, I thought that guy died 10 years ago. Like
That happens.
I thought
Yeah,
that guy. I didn't
yeah.
know that guy was still alive. up
Yeah,
until this year.
there was a couple of those for me. I said it out loud. I was like, that guy's not dead yet.
Yeah.
right.
And I forget who it was. Oh, it was Stanley Donen, which is actually which is the guy who directed Singing in the Rain. And I was like, what was he, 400 years old? That movie came out in like 1956.
That's a stale donut.
Yeah, it hurts.
Oh
It hurts.
boy! Oh no! Come on!
I love a Newman pun.
So anyway, we're going. We did our picks. This episode, we're going to go over our Oscar choices, see how we did, and then also our Valentine's Day.
Yeah,
favorite
happy Valentine's Day, everybody.
Happy Valentine's Day. Favorite Valentine's Day type movie at the end, like either a relationship movie or like
yeah.
a movie about love.
I did watch one of the Oscar movies this week.
Oh, yeah,
in the
let's
What
talk
Did You
about that
Watch
first.
segment. I watched
Yeah.
Jojo Rabbit.
And
I loved it.
and now, does it change your mind on anything that you picked from last week?
I might have
We can
liked
get
it.
into it as we're
didn't
going, but-
change my mind. I think I would have picked the movie that I picked for Best Picture. I don't think it would have changed it, but I did enjoy it very much, and I might have liked this better than my...
Are you a Jew?
I am not. I think we all know I'm a staunch Gentile.
Staunch
He's a big
Gentile.
old guinea.
I'm not a Nazi. I'm a staunch Gentile.
Italian-Irish Catholic, as Gentile as they come.
That's a big boy. That's your big boy.
I've
But,
heard mixed things. I've heard mixed things about Jojo Rabbit, and as I'm a very non-religious person.
Same.
I grew up with a very Jewish family,
But
and
it
so-
rubs you the wrong way.
Yeah, there's something about I'm
I get
worried,
that.
and I'm also like free. Everyone's free to create whatever art
Sure.
they want to make, and I'm not. But I also choose what I want to
course.
take it or not. I'm afraid to watch it because I guess what I'm afraid of is if they make any Nazi characters like likable or redeemable. I'm just like
Then-
I
I don't
don't
think
feel
to worry
like it's
about
going to be
that
for me.
happening.
You should worry about that happening.
Yeah, I've heard people say like you got nothing to worry about, and I've heard people
Yeah.
say like they do.
Yeah.
And but I've also heard other Jewish people tell me like actually it's pretty well done and it's really funny and they
Here's
really
the
enjoyed
thing.
it. But
Without spoiling anything, because it's a great movie and I think you all should watch it, so I can't
I know I should
talk
just
about it that
watch
much.
it to know.
It will. I think it has the right goal in mind. I think
Okay.
it has the best intentions at heart.
Yeah.
So
It's a hard
course.
line. It's a hard
because
thing
with
to pull
the,
off.
There's no
the
pro-Nazi movie.
subject that it's the heaviest subject, so the lightness they make of it, I mean, at the beginning, just, the plot, the little boy, his imaginary friend is Adolf Hitler. And, I mean, it's so hilarious, the opening 5 minutes of just them galloping around and doing little kid stuff, and it's Adolf Hitler. Like, I can see how that would rub people the wrong way.
Yeah.
But I think the movie, in the end, has the message. It has the right intentions in mind. And I liked, I can never get Taika Waititi.
Yeah, I think you said it right.
So I think he's very talented, and he's like an indigenous person. So
Yes, he is.
he's separated from all the religious aspects himself. But I think it's an overall great movie, hilarious, kind of touching, and well done and well acted. Really well acted. I liked everybody in the cast really a lot.
I gotta check it out.
Yeah, highly recommended.
So a couple of the picks, would you have switched that out for?
No, I wouldn't. I think the best picture still won that I picked, and I wouldn't have changed a pick. But I think I liked it a little bit more than Parasite.
Really?
For me, personally, yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
You like Jojo Rabbit more than Parasite?
Yeah.
Wow, that's
I loved
big because you loved. First off, you loved
I liked
Parasite.
Parasite a lot.
And Parasite won, and then Parasite is being heralded.
This was the only
as
other one. I liked it better than any. Between this and Parasite, those are my two favorites of what I've seen from those Best Picture nominees.
Wow.
So yeah, highly recommended.
But it edges out Parasite for you.
For me, just personal favor.
But that's a bold statement. That's great. Good
Bold
for you.
statement, baby.
Bold statement from this kid.
Did you watch anything?
No holds barred on this one.
No.
Did you watch No Holds Barred?
I didn't watch any new ones. No, I should have. I
Okay.
should have watched. I have Ford versus Ferrari at my house.
Same. I have to see that.
That one I think is getting kind of getting pushed by the wayside because of all the other ones are so much more substantial, I guess.
Yeah.
Like the one, even Jojo Rabbit's about you have Hitler in it. It's like or Parasite. The fact that also how much did you? Well, the first thing I want to say, if we can get into the Oscars, the first thing I want to say is how great that. I love that director now. I never really followed him. The Parasite
Bong Joon-ho?
director, his
Yeah,
reaction.
he's great.
Oh my God, he's awesome, dude.
Yeah.
It became a GIF of him looking at the Oscar and smiling. Did you guys see that online?
No, I'm the worst guest. I was flying. I did not see the Oscars.
It's okay you didn't
just so
see it,
your
but you
listeners
watched
know,
the movies.
I was here, so I'm on the podcast. But I have watched the movies. Yes. Other than Jojo Rabbit.
I can't watch the speeches anymore. I watched the winner and then I flip back to whatever I was watching. I can't watch the speeches.
Really?
Yeah.
Why? It's too. What do you think? It's too up? It's on
I just can't stand.
Well, I
the
did
fucking
watch the
pretension.
Joaquin Phoenix speech.
Yeah, I didn't even.
You knew he was
and I
gonna
mean
do
that
something.
was the. Yeah.
What'd you think of his speech?
I didn't,
oh, you didn't watch it.
I didn't watch it.
I
man.
didn't see it. It was. Here's the thing, man. It kind of struck me as funny. It wasn't a funny speech, but
I heard
he's
snippets.
it's
Snippets.
It's so. Instead of him just going up and then, some people go up and they just mention one cause and they're like, we need, as far as women, equality for women and this, I think he was like, how do I topple that? And
Yeah,
he just involved all the causes.
One.
He just been in a general thing. He's like, we should be for all causes. He was like that kind of thing.
Yeah.
He was basically just saying be a more mindful, empathetic, loving person, and then he had a quote from his brother at the end, which actually really touching. So it was a good.
That
speech.
was really nice.
It was a
really
good
nice.
speech, but I was like,
Okay.
Don't rip cows' babies away and use their milk.
Yeah.
Here's the thing about that. Like I am a vegan.
Nah, you're a vegan.
Yeah.
now.
And,
for how long?
I mean, I've been doing it for like 6 months.
Sunday.
Like I'm not. No, yeah. Since I saw the speech, I changed my life.
Speech.
No, but I mean, in my real, I got high and watched Game Changers on Netflix. Like that's what I was like. Okay, if it's that's all it was for me.
That's
and I was like,
Someone told me that
Yeah.
would happen to me too.
Yeah.
I go, well, I don't want to be a vegan, so I'm not going to.
No, and well,
But
whatever.
I've heard that. I've heard
I'm
that.
not saying
Wait,
I'm
it's
going to do
called
it.
what's
Game
Game
Changer.
Changer?
Game
Yes.
Changers. It's all like these professional athletes and people on plant-based diets, and it's a really healthy thing. My energy's been up like crazy. Stamina's been up like crazy. It's really great. Also,
Sexual stamina?
sexual stamina
Plateaued.
is I'm lasting upwards of 48 seconds. No, it's
I fuck like a plant now. I just sit there.
but no, like I still watch the Oscar speeches, and like even one like that where I'm like, yeah, I agree with technically I'm like I personally think he's right. He just is just kind of a doof.
Yeah, my buddy said the same thing. He go, yeah, he's even comes off as such a douchebag. That being said, I agree with every word he said.
Yeah,
well, that's the thing. You got to
that's
give
the
the guy
thing.
the credit at
Right.
that point. So let's get into it, my friend. Let's get into the old pepperoni.
All right. The number one category that we picked last week was actor in a leading role, and we know that Joaquin. Jesus, I can never get it right.
Joaquin.
Joaquin. Christ. So many
You
tricky
know his
names.
real name is Leaf.
Really?
Yeah. His brother's River, his sister's Rainbow, and
knew-
he was named
yeah.
Leaf.
Oh, okay.
So he's when
Where'd
he's
Joaquin
in
come
Parenthood.
from?
If you look at Parenthood, the movie from the 80s, from 91 or something.
89.
89, yeah. Which is a phenomenal movie. It's so good.
Yeah.
If you look at the credits on that, it says Leaf Phoenix.
I see. Well, we all picked him. And no surprise there.
Yeah, that was there was two no-brainers.
Right.
It was him and supporting.
Supporting, you picked Pesci, actually.
Oh, did I?
You went with Pesci in the end, yeah.
Did I? Probably did that just to be different. Yeah, I think I knew. I think I said I knew Brad Pitt was going to win. though.
Yeah, Ryan and I
But
both
yeah,
picked.
my pick was Pesci.
We picked Pitt, actress in a leading role. Very interesting. We all picked three different ladies. You picked Scarlett Johansson for Marriage Story. Ryan Beck picked Cynthia Erivo for Harriet. I picked Renee Zellweger.
And you won.
And picked correctly.
And you know what's so funny is after a friend of mine was telling me that like she was like, oh, she's going to win for this because apparently she becomes like Judy Garland in that movie. And
Yeah.
then when they showed the clips, I was like, holy shit, this is great.
I can't
Right.
wait to see. I honestly I want to see it really bad.
You wanna
I
check it
have
out?
the screener. I
The
haven't watched it
movie I
yet.
heard is good, not great, but I heard she being in it and what she does in it is like beyond fantastic.
Cynthia Erivo, though, in The Outsider, is fantastic.
It's awesome. She's awesome.
She's so
She's
good,
so
and it's a really
quirky
cool story
and so
I'm enjoying.
odd. You think it's good? Well, I don't. You can't talk about The Outsider.
Why not?
Because you don't want to spoil it for people. I was going to ask what you think her deal is.
Yeah, we can't probably do that.
Which,
yet.
all right, we can say spoilers, but I don't want to do that. All right, let's go next.
Actress in a supporting role. You picked Kathy Bates. Did you even see Richard Jewell?
No. I don't
But
know
this
why.
guy,
I thought
huge
maybe-
Kathy Bates stan. That's the first time I've ever used stan, and it's only to describe how much Sean loves Kathy Bates.
And also, with Kathy Bates, I think I thought like, oh, it's time for her to get another one because she is a really great
Right.
actress.
Yeah, yeah.
But who won on that one?
You picked Bates. Beck picked Scarlett Johansson for JoJo, which she was up for Best Actress and Best Act
yeah.
and Supporting Actress.
That's got to be a first, right?
I don't know if it's a
They
first
didn't
if
say
somebody's been
anything about
nominated. Definitely would have been a first if she won both.
Yeah, yeah.
I picked Laura Dern for Marriage Story,
And
and
that's
that
who
was
won.
the winner. So
Yeah.
the kid's
Oh,
got a
good.
big
Wow.
4-2-1 lead. Bye, Christine. So yeah, I thought she was great. That one I was just kind of picking because I think it could have been anybody in those.
Let's just recap. I haven't picked one yet.
You got one. You could pick to get Joaquin.
Oh, Joker. Yeah, yeah.
Moving on to cinematography. This was a little bit of a split, but we all got. Or no, wait. You might have.
I might have won that one.
No, you picked 1917. I picked 1917. Ryan Beck picked The Lighthouse. We both won with Roger Deakins,
Yes, yes.
who is a major cinematography player.
Yeah, yeah.
He's
but it was,
1917?
and I don't think it was
Yeah.
the first time he won. It definitely was the
No,
first time
I
he
think it was
nominated.
his second.
Yeah.
I mean, that movie just looked different and better than almost anything.
Yeah,
It
and
was
the
incredible.
camera trickery, and also like just anytime you have a war movie, the idea that they're pulling that off.
Oh, the shots were so long. They were
Yeah.
like going through bunkers. It was like stuff you've never seen in a war movie before.
Writing adapted screenplay. Shawnee picked JoJo. I picked The Irishman, and Ryan picked JoJo. And you guys won that one from me.
Yes.
So back in the saddle.
Are there prizes involved?
No, it's
No
just
prizes
bragging
involved.
rights. I
Yeah,
guess.
bragging rights. Original screenplay, we all picked Parasite, and we all won.
Yeah, you had to give us that. It was such a coolly written.
Well, it's the only one we all read.
And also, I'll tell you one talk about really quickly to talk about. Yeah, right. Talk about.
That one took a second for
It
you,
did
Sean.
take me a second. Sorry, I was thinking what I was going to say. The other thing is this: Bong Joon-ho's speech was great. His speech was. You know what he said, right? He brings
Remind
up.
me.
He says a quote. He goes, "The personal is the most creative."
Oh,
and he
yeah,
goes,
but-
and that was said by
right.
our own Martin Scorsese, who
Yeah.
was also nominated. And everybody goes ape shit. And
yeah.
people stood up and started clapping, and you could see Martin Scorsese like, "No, come on, like give it to him." Like you know what I mean? You know?
Yeah.
So it was really cool.
And speaking of the man himself, best director.
Bong Joon-ho,
Bong
baby. And
What a night.
did we say best directing? I don't think I did I?
I think you went. Let me find my notes, Sean.
I think I tried to switch it up on that.
Did you see the cast? They were all like up partying at like a Korean restaurant till like 5 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was
I
his other great thing.
It's kind of cool they didn't just do like the normal Hollywood
Yeah.
thing. Yeah.
I love that they just like sometimes people play it too cool, and and they're like, nah, they enjoyed the shit out of it.
Oh, yeah.
I really love that.
None of us got this right.
Oh.
You and I both picked Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, Tarantino, and Ryan picked Sam Mendes for 1917.
And who won?
Bong Joon.
Oh, right. Okay, yeah. That was for what, director?
Yeah, he won director and
We
picture.
won. I don't know why we wouldn't have just. I think I was trying to be different.
Yeah.
Because why wouldn't it be Bong Joon?
And Best Picture, we all know the winner was Parasite. Big winner, first foreign language film, first non-English film to ever win Best Picture.
Yeah, that's huge.
Ryan picked Parasite, I picked Parasite, and you picked Once Upon a Time in America. In Hollywood, I mean.
Yeah, but that's what I
'Cause
want.
you're
That's what I
obviously
wanted. I'm a racist and
nationalist.
I'm a white nationalist. You know how it is. No, but I remember saying I think Parasite's going to win. But I want Once Upon a Time in America.
Right.
But that was my pick.
Didn't it just seem like 2020 was the year that they, qualified or not, are going to give it to the a different languaged film? And that's not taking it away.
I can't. That's the thing. It feels like taking away. And I know you're trying not to, but I don't know. Literally, the foreign film that was shown to us was Parasite, so I have to go. It was just so great. I loved it so much.
And also, I think that I got to be honest, it goes hand in hand, Andy. I
Yeah,
think what
I
has
know.
to happen, you have to have a movie like that for it to win like that. Like it's
Yeah.
not
Right.
because you're not going to pick any. Because here's the thing.
But 10
There's
years
a lot
ago,
of shit that's lost
with-
in translation. But because of how he is, I think he was so influenced by American cinema, he was able to be more relatable to American audiences. And
But
he
let's
also
just
made
say
movies in
a
America.
Scorsese picture and a Quentin Tarantino picture and a foreign language film 10 years ago even if it's the better movie, I probably don't think it's
No.
I
winning.
think more
Yeah.
people would have been upset because there was still weird backlash just on.
Yeah, didn't they like cut him short even though it's the one and then everybody's like put
Yeah,
them up,
yeah,
put
yeah.
it up.
It was a time
It was just
thing
like,
or
come
whatever.
on, give him this fucking spotlight.
Exactly.
Former Best Picture winner. So the overall tally is Andrew Fiore 6, Rhinebeck 4, Sean Donnelly 3.
I was trying to be difficult. But here's the thing, though. Yeah, I think it was, but I think here's the thing, man. Like, there's a lot of foreign movies that I think American audiences, including myself, I consider myself a very American audience when it comes to film. And there's probably tons
Sure.
of things that I should be seeing that are foreign that I don't because I don't want to sit down. But
Absolutely.
when all the buzz on this movie was so hardcore, there was no way I wasn't going to see it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, and that's what that is what the weird thing is. That never happens with a foreign movie like around.
That's actually kind of why I really know Parasite was so great, or I think it's so great, is because it was built up for. I put off watching it for so long that it kept getting built up and built up and built up. And normally, when you watch a movie after it's built up so much, it never hits as hard. And I still was blown away by it because it takes that extra twist, and you're like, and
it's fun, it's creepy, it's quirky.
Yeah.
And the script I think is really funny. I think how he has him talking sometimes. I'm like, this is just a really cool movie. It's like a cool thing.
And
to
the
it.
subtitles were easy to read.
100%.
Sometimes you watch a thing
Yes,
and
they
you're
were.
like, this was. I mean, and I had the screener, so most of the time I'm home late at night smoking weed, watching a movie. I don't want to watch subtitles because it's just an extra concentration I don't have. I got lost in the movie. It was I loved it, and I
Same.
had no problem with that.
So yeah, I know what you're saying. I think the timing is perfect. I think
Right,
the way that
that's
we
a
are,
better
I
way to
think-
put it. The timing
I think-
is perfect.
I think there's like a call for it because of all the shit that's going on, and I think politics does play into it. And not just politics amongst the Academy, but everybody's so sick of what's going on with maybe politics wise here. They're like they're trying. It's like they're trying to be like, hey, let's be as inclusive as possible.
Yeah.
That's what you're saying, pretty much.
Exactly.
Yeah. So,
Did Trump tweet about
about Parasite? No, of course not.
Yeah.
Would he have if it was Ford versus
surprised
Ferrari
he didn't, to be honest.
I don't know what would he have said.
Just something like we should keep film in America. We make film great again. Something.
Yeah, make film great again. You saw really quick. I don't want to get into a Trump discussion, but you saw he tweeted on the new curb. Larry David wears a "Make America Great" hat to repel people.
And you really missed the point of that whole thing, didn't you?
And he tweeted it like it was a positive. He didn't get the joke.
The point is the hat is so repellent. It gets him out of any social obligation.
Any social obligation. But he's like, yeah, we love tough guys. And it's like, no, that's not.
God, he is just an embarrassment.
It's the fucking awful. Anyway, so.
Well, happy Valentine's Day, Shawnee.
Thank you so much. But the last thing I wanted to say is this about the Oscars. Ahead. I wanted to still talk about how the fact that you guys. Well, Adam didn't say it, but I don't know if you know this, Adam. Randomly, I found out the reasoning, but it took like a day to find out the reason. Eminem just started performing at the Oscars. Like Eminem did "Lose Yourself."
Right.
I'm still
Which
alive.
Is an Oscar winner.
I'm aware that it happened.
No, I don't know. You're not paying attention. You know?
No,
Adam, on your flight.
Yeah.
No, I saw. I saw that he did perform.
But everybody, when he did it, first off, the audience reaction was like great. They were like, people were bobbing their heads. Martin Scorsese was sleeping. It was like kind of like a weird thing. And but the weird part about it is that people were like, "Cool, Eminem's here." Why? But
it's an Oscar-winning song.
It's an Oscar-winning song.
Was it 20 years ago?
No. The reason is because right before it, what's his name?
Elton John.
Oscar. What is his name? Isaac. Oscar Isaac. Or what's his name? Isaac. Yeah. He did a montage of famous movie songs. That it was supposed to be related to that, but nobody realized.
No
that.
one made the connection.
He did like a video of movie songs, which obviously was put together so they could just have Eminem do this song. And then they were like, "Oh, well, here's one live," which is "Lose Yourself."
Right.
But everybody was like, "Why is this happening?"
Looked a little hefty, didn't he?
Who? Eminem?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's like bulkier.
Lost himself all right.
That's why you said that. Just so
I did.
He does the one thing about when he had that battle song with fucking Machine Gun Kelly.
Diabetes.
No, he's not that fat, Andy. You're way fatter than fucking Eminem.
Absolutely. From M&M's. Hey!
I stopped myself from making that joke as soon as he said he was hefty, and I'm the one.
You're better than me.
Like immediately.
So, but. When he had that battle song with Machine Gun Kelly or whatever that guy, remember he did like, what was it called? They went back and forth. The one thing the guy says that I actually agree with Machine Gun, is like, his beard is weird. He calls him weird. He's like, your beard's weird. Right. His beard is kind of weird. I don't know why it looks like that. It looks like it's pasted on.
Yeah, not everybody grows a good beard.
Guess who does?
I've been watching.
Chubby guys.
I
was going to say Fiore and Donnelly.
Do you guys watch Schitt's Creek? Do you watch Schitt's Creek?
Yes, great show.
Dude, does that? You know what guy I'm talking about with the beard? What's his name?
Chris Elliott?
No. The dude in the cabin that she likes more than the guy she's engaged to.
Yes.
Is that beard looks like glued on? And there's an episode where he shaves it.
Greek? I don't know.
I guess it is. Some people just can't grow beards.
Funny show.
It's a funny show. I haven't seen a lot. I've only seen a few episodes, but I should check it out.
I'm waiting for this last batch of the final season to come on Netflix so I can finish it.
Yeah, I only got into that show in the last few months. And I've been binging it like crazy.
Great, man.
It's so funny.
Eugene and
I'll
Daniel
tell you,
Levy.
man, it's a show that got a second life. It was on that Pop channel.
It still is. It had the whole run on Pop, and then it just got to Netflix.
Only
and that
got big when it got to Netflix. That's what happens.
Yeah.
With these fucking things. And that's what they say is like apparently the model now is like they do Tuesday, like trying to guarantee not guarantee, but they'll do. You always find out about the show in the second season, so you have a whole first season to binge,
right?
Because that show
Seinfeld
that was like that when Seinfeld was already gone. People were finding out about it. Lost was like that too. Mad About You. Lost was like that too. Because I remember I found out about it because of the DVDs.
Lost, 1 through 3 is great television.
Well, that was like Breaking Bad. I only heard about Breaking Bad because one Halloween, so many people were dressed as Breaking Bad characters and had like the little blue bags of meth or whatever.
Yeah.
And I was like, why are so many people dressed like this? And you got to watch this show. And so it was like third or fourth season I jumped in and I got to binge. It was like the first show I really got into with
so
binging.
That's what I was flipping over from the Oscar story because every
Bad?
Sunday AMC has been playing Breaking Bad. They've been playing a season every Sunday leading up to their premiere of El Camino.
Oh, wow.
So I just would see the winner and I'd go back to Breaking Bad.
they have
It's such
their
a good
premiere?
rewatch, man.
Do they have their premiere of El Camino?
It's 2 weeks from now. I get.
Have you seen El Camino on Netflix?
I have, yes.
I enjoyed it.
I did too.
It wasn't. I didn't get into it like I got into Breaking Bad, but it was nice
Sure.
to be like, oh yeah, I enjoyed this world. It was
That's
nice to,
exactly what
it
I
was
said,
Nice
almost
to jump back
verbatim.
in.
I think
Really?
they knew that was going to be the case.
I
cool.
said that the same way. I go, yeah, it was great. I just liked being in the world of Breaking
Yeah,
Bad again.
yeah.
But it does make you realize Vince Gilligan is a TV guy. He's a TV guy.
Yeah, it felt
You're
like
not-
three more episodes strung together.
Oh,
you know?
for sure.
Yeah.
It was a bunch. Yeah, it was like
And
a long.
some
TV
a
episode.
comic wrote that online, and I was like, "Yeah," and he was
Yeah,
like-
I don't-
He wrote it like it was an insult. He's like, "Yeah, if you want to see 3 more episodes of Breaking Bad," I'm like, "Yeah, I do."
Yeah, that's exactly what I
definitely-
wanted.
Exactly.
That's exactly what I wanted.
Hey, we got closure on
Yeah.
Walter. It's just nice. That's the thing you realize
Yes,
watching
yes,
Breaking
yes.
Bad back. You go, holy fuck, did they put Jesse Pinkman through
Hell.
the ringer?
Yes, and all you
I mean-
want is him to be okay.
Jesus Christ.
And they make the character. They were gonna get rid of the character, like kill him off early.
Yeah,
on.
early.
They make him you're so empathetic for him. There's the bug thing that happens a couple times where he doesn't kill the bug.
Yeah.
It's such a great subtle thing. It's so great.
They just, this past Sunday was the Lily of the Valley with Brock, the little kid season, where you go,
it's heart-wrenching.
that diabolical motherfucker, and just like, that's genius level shit.
Yeah.
A, to obviously as a character think of that, but also to write that. You're just like, that's brilliant writing. Just, yeah, what a show.
It's so good.
Not a down episode, I don't think. I don't think there's one where I'm like, all right, this is kind of dragging. Every one, I'm like, still riveted.
It's not my favorite show of all time, though.
Really?
We really went off on a TV tangent a little
Yeah,
bit on
but-
the movie
Yeah,
podcast.
but it
Who
started
cares?
with movies, with the Breaking Bad movie, which I
Yeah.
honestly feel the same way about like when the X-Files movies came out. I was like, yeah, it feels like 4
Right.
X-Files episodes, a little
Well,
higher
no,
budget,
but it was a bigger production.
and they could be
bigger
they
production.
could be standalone too. But like you felt like
Yeah.
if you had watched the series, you were like, I kind of know their history, and I don't know, there were little things that hinted to the fans.
Yeah.
Not my favorite show though, Breaking Bad of all time.
Sopranos?
I love it. No, The Wire. The Wire's my favorite.
Oh yeah.
Oh my god, they came with the
I
Wire
have to
movie?
rewatch that. Just start from season 1. I have in bits and pieces, but I got to
Done
do
The Wire
it.
twice.
Yeah.
I went on a commercial audition, and there was a guy there that had like a little part in The Wire.
You took a picture and posted with him.
Yeah,
I saw
yeah,
it.
yeah.
I thought that was so cool.
And it's just a guy you wouldn't know, but I was like, right away, I was like, that's the guy from The Wire.
Shawnee is very good at knowing the little
Yeah.
character actors and then running into them somehow.
Yeah,
Like,
randomly.
always-
It was like-
I feel like this always
met-
happens to you.
There was like a few Seinfeld ones, remember? The guy, there was a Seinfeld
Yeah.
one, the dry cleaner guy. The one goes, Jerry, that's against the dry cleaner's code.
You need a coat? But you also got Mickey, not that he was a pretty major character.
But
But
he,
I
also
mean,
he does comedies. That made
I
sense.
had Brent, Desperado.
That's a huge
That
one.
was a big one.
What was that on again? That you
We
went-
did something for Food Network together, but the cool thing was the whole time I was sitting there, I go, where do I know this fucker from?
I would have known right away.
And
Actually,
but I had to look on the call sheet, and I go, John Patrick Stewart, okay. And then I went on to I went, Brett Desperado, and he was such a sweet guy. The last day of shooting this thing, I went, hey man, I just got to tell you, I'm a gigantic Seinfeld fan, and he goes, that's the thing I get recognized for the most.
Absolutely.
People come up
I
to me.
did a video once at College Humor with the guy from Groundhog's Day. The what's the
Stephen Tobolowsky?
Yeah. Yes,
Ned
yes,
Ryerson?
Yes, Ned
Ned
Ryerson.
Ryerson.
Yeah, Stephen Tobolowsky.
You knew who it was.
How did you know that? That's
He's
amazing.
like an amazing character actor.
Yes, he is. That's exactly. Literally, they booked him, and they were like, "Who's that?" And they're like, "Oh, he was in this. He was in Groundhog Day. He's an amazing character actor." Like that's exactly how they describe him.
He's also in an episode of Law and Order: Criminal Intent. That's
Oh,
really
you
good.
do know everything. It's amazing. And Law and Order is a hard one to pull from because like there's a zillion,
God.
a zillion.
Yeah.
Well, Criminal Intent, they only have like 3 good seasons.
You would have known who Bryan
Yeah.
Cranston is even without Malcolm in the Middle. Wait, was he Malcolm in the Middle?
Yes,
He was Tim
yes.
Watley on
Malcolm in the Middle.
Seinfeld.
Tim Watley.
Yeah, because that's exactly what you would have known him as a dentist from Seinfeld.
Yeah, I would have known. He was already in my.
Defends me as a
old-
comedian.
What?
Defends me as, I think he turned the juicy for the jokes.
Offends you as a Jew?
No, defends me as a comedian.
That's a pretty good bounce off.
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah, definitely would have known him from Tim Watley. He goes, Jerry Mazel Tov. What did he say?
Yeah, shtickle of fluoride.
I suppose you don't like that either, huh, Adam?
Fuck you guys.
We should be remiss. I told this story. I should have saved the laugh because it was so funny. The Kirk, R.I.P. Kirk Douglas. He was a big
Yeah.
in memoriam. He was like the headliner of the in memoriam.
yeah, I guess. Yeah, that's.
And you guys already heard this on this pod, but to the audience, somebody told me a great Michael Douglas / his son Cameron Douglas story. I guess Cameron Douglas, I don't know how well known it is, but it had his struggles being
It was
a
pretty
celebrity.
public.
Yeah. Was doing stand-up for a brief period, and was doing it in England and going really, really badly. And he melted down and went, "Don't you fucking know who I am? I'm Cameron Douglas." And somebody from the back shouted out, "I'm Cameron Douglas." And then it caught on. Somebody else went, "I'm Cameron Douglas."
That's so amazing.
How do you not just lose your mind laughing? Like, what would happen? You've been doing comedy X amount of years. I would not be. First off, you don't have the meltdown. Like, don't you know who I am? Like, we
can't do that. Like,
you can't say those words if you're a Douglas. You know what I mean? You can't say, "I am so-and-so."
Yeah.
You just can't.
It's such a brilliant
lightning
reaction.
quick.
What?
Lightning quick for somebody whoever did that.
Hats off. In the crowd, yeah, like that guy's funny. Like,
Exactly.
might not be stand-up comedian style funny, but like
Right.
that's a funny guy.
Right.
That's amazing.
Let me ask you guys this: they did no host again. I guess that's just what they're going to do from now on. Because it worked out fine.
Yeah, did it though? That Steve Martin, Chris Rock was kind of hard to watch. I mean, those jokes were just
I don't think it was bad. Yeah, the one the Jeff Bezos jokes.
No, they were just bad jokes. Like, they were just terrible. And you're like, you got these two great guys. It was just like,
I thought
don't
there were
know.
a couple that weren't that bad.
There's a couple on just oof.
I feel like you have to pick and choose as they're presenting. You're like, who are these people that they asked to host?
Will Ferrell and Julia Louis-Dreyfus, speaking of science, were very funny.
I didn't
thought
watch was this year?
Yeah,
They just had
yeah.
like it was people presenting, or they just had people.
Yeah,
come
they
up
kind of
as
have
a
an
duo
opening
together?
number to start the show, musical number, and then they
Doesn't it
had
always look awkward when that's going on. Where they're showing the crowd. The crowd never looks like fully settled in when they're doing that
totally
opening number.
They're probably not.
Yeah.
And then they had Chris Rock and Steve Martin kind of do, I guess, a monologue-y type thing. But normally they would come out every time, and then they just
So
go
bizarre.
from presenter to presenter. Yeah,
I mean,
they
obviously-
piggyback it, essentially.
Maybe they didn't want two white guys, or they wanted diversity. But like, it's like Steve Martin and Martin Short are currently touring
Right,
genius comedy duo. It just seemed like they maybe that would have been a good call.
And there's no one
I'm not-
funnier
no,
at those
it's
things than
two
Martin
older
Short,
white
too.
guys.
I'm not here to cut Chris Rock. Like,
Right.
let Chris Rock do a bit that work. I just feel like if that
No,
didn't
it
work,
did feel
maybe-
like, I mean, Martin and, Short have that, what do you call it, that vibe down.
Yeah,
that they just have their
dynamic.
dynamic.
man,
Yeah,
the
fucking
whole
idiot.
The whole,
You don't know very many words,
No, I
do
don't.
you?
should we go to our Valentine's Day
Yeah,
picks?
let's wrap it up with, well, I thought of two odd ones that I like. So why don't you go first with a
Well, I have
Valentine's?
my all-time favorite movie involving a relationship. It came at a time in my life that I was very vulnerable to being,
All right.
very lonely. Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind.
You do love that one.
I
Yeah, that's a great
love
movie.
it. I love it. It's not a one that really sells. I also the one that's Love Actually I like a lot too.
Yeah.
Actually, that's
Yeah,
a great movie,
it's-
and that's
yeah.
more positive than Eternal Sunshine. But Eternal Sunshine is like it makes you. I just had gone through a breakup right when that movie came out, and I saw it, and it was like the perfect timing to watch that and be like, oh my god,
Yeah.
I wish I could go through this procedure and do this. So, but that's my all-time. Like, I think it's the most realistic movie about relationships or love or whatever.
Okay,
it is.
that's a great one.
I was
Adam?
just thinking, because I was a little bit put on the spot by this one, and I was trying to think of like childhood romantic comedy movies that I liked, or not even. I just immediately
Oh,
went to
yeah.
I immediately went to my childhood, and I used to have on VHS, and like when the cable would go out or whatever, I for whatever reason got really into I was about to say Can't Hardly Wait. That's not the one. I did like that movie, but I
know you're gonna say.
No, you don't.
Oh, okay.
You knew Tobolowsky.
While you were sleeping.
Oh, with Sandra Bullock.
Yeah,
and Bill
Sandra
Pullman.
Bullock and Bill Pullman, and I'm forgetting the other guy's name who was actually in the coma, but he's in the coma. Like they're supposed to be. Oh,
It's Peter Gallagher.
Peter Gallagher, is that his name?
Yes.
Yeah.
Why are you asking him? I know.
I'm also here.
I'm kidding. You just said Tobolowsky. That was a play off that. All right,
It's just a movie like my whole family liked, and we would watch
Yeah,
together like
yeah.
on multiple occasions. We'd be like, "Do you guys want to watch while you were sleeping?" And we did, and it was a very easy, fun, nice movie to watch. And you love Sandra Bullock and Bill Pullman together, and you
Yeah.
feel sorry for the other guy. You don't even really feel sorry for because they weren't really in a relationship. You know, he got hurt,
right.
went in a coma. And
I thought you were
There you
going to
go.
say "Can't Buy Me Love."
Oh, I've never seen Can't Buy Me Love.
which was a movie from my childhood. I'm older than you, so.
But Can't Hardly Wait, I think I can throw that in there, right?
Yes, that's
Absolutely.
a love movie.
Definitely
and that's also a very relatable movie because he's trying to tell her how he feels all night.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that high school thing of like you're trying to profess your love for somebody.
But he's trying to go see Kurt Vonnegut speak.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Ugh.
Ethan Embry, who kind of like I think went through shit, and then he was back acting. He was in an episode of Law and Criminal Television, and he's probably like 60 pounds heavier. Remember, he used to be like the skinny pole of a kid when he was in,
Sure.
like all like Empire Records and all that shit.
Yep.
And then he gained a bunch of weight, lost some hair, and they have him as a kind of a creep in the episode.
I believe
Eminem,
he's
man.
in
Him and
Sneaky,
Eminem.
That's
Sneaky
not
Pete.
major.
He just made a comeback, yeah.
Oh,
which
did
is
he?
like a Amazon Prime show. That's the first 2 seasons are great, and then I kind of lost.
And he's kind of a thick dude. He's like a stocky dude, right?
He just kind of like he's got like a former football body, like high school football player body now. You know,
he used to be like super skinny and tall. Oh, you thought he was tall. What does he play in Sneaky Pete?
Yeah, I don't want to give too much away. If you're going to watch that, it's kind of heavy in the plot. So
all right, don't
he plays
say
a character. Yeah, I can't. It gives way too much away.
Don't worry about it. But what were you going to say? What movies?
Mine
got
is
two.
my favorite kind of love story. It doesn't even really involve the main characters, but I love Raising Arizona.
That's love-ish type story.
It
It's
is
like
high in Ed, but it's got one of my favorite moments. I wish I knew the guy's name. He plays Nathan Arizona. Is the father of the Quints, the Arizona quintuplets.
Yeah.
And there's just this like sweet moment at the very end of the movie when High and Ed return the baby they kidnapped, and he actually catches them in
And he
the
talks to them.
nursery, and he kind of goes, before you guys all go busting up, why don't you sleep on it? And he has it's beautiful, one of my favorite moments. He just goes, I don't know what I would do without Lois. He goes, I do love her so. And it's just like one of my favorite, sweetest things. He delivers it so brilliantly. It makes me cry like every time. I watch it over and over because I love her so.
It's a good line.
Yeah, it's a great line.
There's a part, I did watch something, and it actually fits into what we're talking about now. I rewatched 10 Things I Hate About You. Did you ever see
I
that?
cannot
Yeah.
say I've ever seen that before.
With Heath Ledger.
Sure.
It's so 90s. It's the kind of 90s movie that like they have like guitar riffs over them talking, like that kind of 90s.
I want to bring that back.
But Heath Ledger's in it, and there is a point where like Julia Stiles is supposed to be like she's like the punk rock badass,
Yeah.
and he's trying to, and then Heath Ledger gets paid to try to take her out because
Right.
the dad makes a rule: the younger daughter can't go out unless the older.
Yep.
It's Taming of the Shrew. That's what it's
Is
based
it Kevin Pollak?
on. No, it's Larry Miller.
Oh, Larry Miller. That's right.
And
that's
it's
right.
based off Taming of the Shrew. That's what it's called.
Yeah.
That's what it's based off. But it's like the 90s movie version of it.
Yeah.
But there's a part in it, and it's not even the best line, but it's just a really cool moment where he's talking, where Heath Ledger's talking to Julia Stiles, and he's talking about the younger sister who's like much cooler and like popular, and he goes, I know everybody.
Who I love.
Yeah, so
Oh.
cute. Yeah, but I like Julia Stiles too. And he goes, I know everybody digs your sister, but she's without. And she's without is such an old. I don't know if it's from the play. It's such an old reference. It's such an old phrase. She's without means she's not so special. Like that's what it is.
Yeah.
But he says it, and they exchange a smile, and I'm like, that doesn't fit in the rest of them. The rest of the movie is just kind of corny
Right,
or whatever
right.
it is. But there's a kind of this nice little exchange. And it's really subtle for that type of movie that I'm always like, oh, that's kind of nice. But it's not a really romantic thing because he's just saying your sister's a shithead, but meaning like, oh, I like you way better. But it's like, I don't know. But it's actually a great movie. That guy David Krumholtz is in it. He's
Okay.
like, speaking of Jews, he's like,
Why you look at every time you mention a Jew, you're going to look over at me?
no, but he's super funny. That guy David Krumholtz. I'm surprised he was never bigger than he was. He was super funny, dude. But what was the other movie you were going to say before we get out of here?
It's kind of just a funny one. I just like the relationship between Hannibal Lecter and Clarice Starling.
Shut the fuck up.
No, this is a very love. I think there's a little element of love when he goes. At the end, he goes, he's going to come for you. She goes, nah, he wouldn't. He would consider that rude. Because don't you think he was in love with her the whole time? I kind of think there was.
Yeah, probably.
Like they get a
Just
little
a great
flirty,
movie.
like
Just
a little
watch it.
flirty
Yeah,
in there.
I know. Yeah, her relationship with Miggs. That's the love story. Patton Oswalt wrote a tweet 10 years ago. It was one of the funniest things I'd ever seen at the time on Twitter, and it was when Hannibal, the show, had just come out, and he made like a subtweet to it. He was like, next week on NBC, flinging with Miggs. Just like,
That's funny. Patton Oswalt's great.
but Raising Arizona.
You guys got to check out Patton Oswalt.
Yeah, check out.
He's
There's this
a
little
young
known
up-and-comer.
comic, Patton Oswalt. He has. Well, you actually, this kind of fits in what we're saying, but it's more sad. When his wife died and he had that special, he has one of the saddest things at the
I
end of
can't
the
bring
special.
myself to watch it. I haven't watched
It's
it yet.
a great. This is why I like it, because it's so genuine. Because he does about 30 minutes of his regular observational set, whatever you want to call it. Not observation, you know what I'm saying. His regular Patton Oswalt
Sure.
set.
Yeah.
And then out of nowhere, did you watch the special? It's
No,
great.
I haven't. No, I haven't.
Yeah.
Either.
Then he does about,
And I'm a huge fan.
He
I love
does
it.
crowd work with 3 different people in the crowd, and I'm at home going, "Why is he doing crowd work?" And there's a moment where he goes, "I know." He goes, "I did that because it's really hard for me to get into the last 20 minutes of this hour." And I was like, "That's for real. That's fucking for real."
Yeah.
And then at the end, they have him on top of the theater in Chicago, where his dead wife's from. And there's a fucking M. Ward song that plays that's unbelievable, and it's so sad.
Yeah.
And I brought it up when I first saw it. I brought it up on the podcast when I was. I don't think I was doing it with you yet. It's an unbelievably touching special. You got to check it out. I forget what it's called. Like this Indestructible or something like that. But it's so good.
Imagine doing that.
I'll watch
Oh,
it. I don't know
God.
about you. I do this with movies too, to go back to movies and stuff, and I'll do it with this too. I have like just a little catalog in my brain of like, these are movies that I know are going to make me cry, and I'm going to watch them when I'm like alone.
Totally.
Yes.
Like everyone's out of the apartment. I'm gonna watch it alone one night by
Planes,
myself.
Trains, Automobiles. The end of it
Really?
makes me cry. Or used to make me cry. Not as much
I'm
anymore.
of such an easy touch too. It really doesn't take much
Yeah.
for me to just.
I'll get chills quick.
Yeah,
I'm
commercials,
a
maybe.
modern man. 2020.
Absolutely.
Adam, let's do a little pluggy plug. Welcome
Yeah,
to plug,
thanks
my
for
friend.
joining us.
When people plug the socials, I'm on Instagram, Adam D. Newman. Also, just join TikTok. Don't know if I'm too old to be there, but also Adam D. Newman. We were talking about that earlier. You go on and it's like 16-year-old girls like dance. You're like, you feel like a dad.
Yeah.
Like, watching
Peering
like,
through a
yeah,
bedroom
peering
window.
through a peephole
I'm
of
gonna
your
download it
daughter's
now.
slumber party. No, I'm getting in and out. I post, I get in, and I get out. I don't look at anything, but I'm on Adam D. Newman on the socials, and I got a podcast called Butt Talk where we have people on, and there's a bunch of poop your pants stories and bathroom stuff, and it's
Nice.
all very silly and fun.
And
Sean was
Andrew?
our first ever guest.
Yes, years
when
ago.
you think
Yeah, your episodes we do backlogs on the Patreon, and don't worry, I go back because it was like 8 years ago, so I like edit out anything that maybe didn't hold up because things have changed, and nothing to edit out with you, Sean. You're a delightful,
I'm a
nice
general
man.
talker.
Atta baby.
Nothing controversial.
Andy.
You can find me at Andy Fiore on all the socials, Instagram and Twitter, and that's also my website, andyfiore.com. I just added a brand new bunch of road dates, March 13th and 14th, Comedy Works, Saratoga Springs. March 19th, right here in the New York City, I'll be headlining the Fat Black Pussycat on Thursday night. And I have a very cool movie-themed poster that Brian at Comedy Artwork made for me, so I'll be on the lookout for that.
Awesome, and I am at Shawnee Time on Instagram and Twitter. We have an Instagram for the show. It's at Defend Your Movie. Follow that, and there's movement on the stuff for the show.
We'll keep you updated.
There's stuff going on, so look out for new news about the podcast and SeanDonnellyComedy.com. I also just put a bunch of dates up there. I'll be in Saratoga as well. I'll be at the Comedy Nest. I'm going to be in Helium in Indianapolis. I'm also going to be at Good Nights in Raleigh. So, guys, check out all of our stuff. Listen to the
Say
podcast.
hi.
Tell your
Defender's been
friends.
great about saying
Say
hi.
hello. Yes, please do. The password is Meats and the Pete's.
You meet to the Pete's.
And we will we'll talk to you soon, and we love you, and we'll see you next week.
My friend, there's a time